Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about windmills in Texas and cars on Mars. This morning, in this morning's video, I described a literal Stone Age technology that people in Texas might be able to use if they have to survive because the power grid's down, because the electric's out. A Stone Age technology. Meanwhile, in another part of the solar system, tomorrow, NASA will be putting a rover about the size of an SUV with a little baby space helicopter strapped to its belly on the surface of Mars after it completed almost a 300 million mile journey. Take samples of the Martian surface. Back here on Earth, there are politicians attempting to convince you on social media that, well, we just can't make windmills work in the cold. That seems super unlikely. That doesn't seem true at all because it's not. Iowa, the state of Iowa, gets 40% of their electricity via wind power. They're not having the same problems because they were responsible. They chose to winterize their equipment. And I know somebody's going to say, well, there are some power outages in Iowa. There are. In the western part, the part that isn't under MISO, which is the network up there. The western part is part of the Southwest Power Pool, the SPP, that network, which relies heavily on natural gas. Incidentally, 50% of the natural gas failed. 15% of their windmills failed. It's not windmills. That's just not true. They're making it up. They are making it up. I would also point out that ERCOT, which is the network over Texas, they flat out said that windmill failure was the least significant factor in what's happening. It's just not true. So those who are saying this, well, there has to be some reason, right? I mean, they can't all be wrong. It's almost like they got handed talking points. Because in Texas, well, fossil fuels are king, so we need to cast doubt on anything else. Blame it on that. Maybe that'll even upset the plans to transition our energy. They're making it up. And aside from that, I would suggest that I can't believe that these pundits and these politicians would say that we can't make it work, like they're doubting the ingenuity of the American worker. That doesn't sound very patriotic at all. I'm fairly certain that the people in Texas can figure out how to do this. The people in Iowa did. It's just not true. It's made up. It's a talking point. It's a way to continue to put profits over people. And in that way, it is a fantastic little comparison because those are the options for the future. We can follow people who will mislead the public and who put profit over people, and we can get Texas. Or we can look at Mars and see what happens when we try to drive humanity forward. Try to reach new heights. Set goals that matter. Those are the options. A disaster film or Star Trek. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day. And I will point out one more thing. At time of filming, the temperature in Houston is 35 degrees. In Des Moines, it's -2.